Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Narrated Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Allah Apostle sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, whoever prays in a single garment must cross its ends over the shoulders. Narrated Sa'id bin al-Harith radiallahu ta'ala anhu, I asked Jabir bin Abdullah about praying in a single garment. He said, I traveled with the Prophet ﷺ during some of his journeys, and I came to him at night for some purpose, and I found him praying. At that time, I was wearing a single garment, which I covered my shoulders and prayed by his side. When he finished a prayer, he asked, O Jabir, what has brought you here? I told him what I wanted. When I finished, he asked, O Jabir, why is this garment which I have seen, and with which you covered your shoulders? I replied, it is a tight garment. He ﷺ said, if the garment is large enough, wrap it around the body, covering the shoulders. And if it is tied too short, then use it as an azar, tie it around your waist only. Narrated Sahih radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the men used to pray with the Prophet ﷺ with their izars tied around their necks, and boys used to do. Therefore, the Prophet ﷺ told the women not to raise their heads till the men sat down straight while praying. Narrated Mughira bin Shuba radiallahu ta'ala anhu, once I was traveling with the Prophet ﷺ and he said, O Mughira, take this container of water. I took it and Allah Apostle ﷺ went far away till he disappeared. He answered the call of nature and was wearing a Syrian cloak. He tried to take out his hand from its sleeve, but it was very tight. So he took out his hands from under it, he poured water and he performed ablution like that for prayers and passed his wet hand over his hoofs, socks made from thick fabric or leather, and then prayed. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, while Allah Apostle ﷺ was carrying stone along with his people of Mecca from the building of the Kaaba wearing an izar, waist sheet cover, his uncle Al-Abbas said to him, O my nephew, it would be better if you take off your izar and put it cover your shoulders underneath the stones. So he took off his izar and put it over his shoulders, but he fell unconscious. And since then, he had never been seen naked. Narrated Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu, a man stood up and asked the Prophet ﷺ about praying in a single garment. The Prophet ﷺ said, has every one of you two garments? A man put a similar question to Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, on which he replied, when Allah makes you wealthier, then you should clothe yourself properly during prayers. Otherwise, one can pray with an izar and a rida, a sheet covering the upper part of the body. Izar and a shirt, izar and a kaba, trousers and a rida, trousers and a shirt, or trouser and a kaba, toban and a kaba, or toban and a shirt. The narrator added, I think that he also said a toban and a rida. Narrated Ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, a person asked Allah Apostle ﷺ, what should a muhrim wear? He replied, he should not wear shirts, trousers, or burnous, a hooded cloak, or clothes which are stained with saffron or worse, a kind of perfume. Whoever does not find a sandal to wear can wear hoofs, socks made from thick fabric or leather. But these should be cut short, so as not to cover their ankles. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khidri radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Allah Apostle forbade ishtimal as-sama, wrapping one's body with a garment so that one cannot raise its end or take one's hand out of it. He also forbade al-ihtiba, sitting on buttocks with knee close to abdomen and feet apart with his hands circling the knees, while wrapping oneself with a single garment without having a part of it over the private parts. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam forbade two kinds of sales, al-limas and an-nibadah. The former is the kind of sale in which the deal is completed if the buyer touches a thing without seeing or checking it properly, and the latter is a kind of a sale in which the deal is completed when the seller throws a thing towards the buyer, giving him no opportunity to see, touch or check it. And the Prophet ﷺ forbade also ishtamal as-sama and al-ihtiba in a single garment. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, on the day of Nahar, 10th of Dhul-Hijjah, in the year of prayer on the last Hajj of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Abu Bakr was the leader of the pilgrims in that Hajj, Abu Bakr sent me along with other announcers to Mina to make a public announcement. No pagan is allowed to perform Hajj after this year, and no naked person is allowed to perform the tawaf around the Kaaba. Then Allah's Apostle ﷺ sent all to read out the Surah Barah, at-Tawbah, to the people. So he made the announcement along with us on the day of Nahar in Mina. No pagan is allowed to perform Hajj after this year, and no naked person is allowed to perform the tawaf around the Kaaba. Narrated Muhammad bin al-Munkadir, I went to Jabir bin Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he was praying wrapped in a garment, and his rida was laying beside him. When he finished the prayers, I said, "O Abdullah, you prayed in a single garment, while your rida is laying beside you." He replied, "Yes, I did it intentionally, so that the arrogant ones like you might see me." I saw the Prophet ﷺ praying like this.